welcome guys to the, let's start over. Welcome guys to our live stream here at the Down to Earth Christian. This is just the first live stream we've ever done here on the channel. And I know you're wondering, if you're not a regular viewer of our off-grid channel, who is this beautiful young lady sitting here next to me? Who is this lady?
Hi guys, my name is Julie. I am Marty's wife.
That's right. If you interact with us on the Down to Earth Christian at on Facebook or through email or sometimes in the community posts,
Yeah.
you're talking with Julie. She's doing a great job over there. And she's going to be, you're going to see her more often than that and be seeing her on Facebook and all that kind of stuff more often.
Behind the scenes though.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And actually, we really couldn't do this without you.
Aw,
So
thanks.
thank you so much. She does an awesome job. But we wanted to address some of you that do not know who we are because you're not a viewer of our off-grid channel. It's called what's it called?
Our off-grid channel is called Martin Johnson Off-Grid Living.
That's right.
And we've been on YouTube since probably 2010. You were dabbling. But 2013 is when we actually started. And we were in Indonesia living as missionaries. And so we started in 2013. So we've been on YouTube for quite a while. And the last 5 years, we've been doing an off-grid living channel here in North Idaho, which is where we live.
Wow. Did you rehearse that?
No.
She did so good.
Thanks.
Great, man. Huh, yeah. So I think what we'll do is we'll just give you guys a little bit of our background first, and then we'll kind of jump into what we're trying to accomplish here on the Down to Earth Christian and kind of what the future looks like for this channel.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Sounds great.
All
Yeah.
right.
Who are we?
Who are we? Yeah. So like we said, I'm Martin Johnson. This is Julie Johnson. We have a couple of kiddos.
Yeah, and sometimes you might hear me refer to him as Marty
Yep.
and not Martin. That is kind of confusing to people.
True.
So,
And you might hear me refer to her as Jules.
Yep.
Because that's what I always call her pretty much. I almost never call you Julie.
No, yeah.
Jules.
And I never call you Martin.
That's true.
So
There you go.
So you can call us Marty and Jules if you would like.
Yes. Let's see. So we've been in full-time ministry for nearly, over, I guess, 20 years. We've been married like 22 years.
We've been married.
Right?
We've been
Come
married
on.
23 years.
23 years.
We got married in February of 2001.
Yeah, so 23 years. Come on, guys, get it right. I'm just going to tilt this back so I can lean back. There we go. 23 years. We've been in ministry, full-time ministry, about over 20 years now. Part of that time was in Indonesia, about 10 years
Yep.
of doing mission work in Indonesia. We did church planting and preacher training. Some of it was on the island of New Guinea, the Indonesian side of New Guinea. Some of it was on the island of Java, specifically in the city of Yogyakarta.
Yep.
And we both can speak Indonesian pretty good. I could preach and teach in it. You could preach and teach if women were to preach and teach.
Well, we kind of
teach ladies
mentioned our
classes.
kids
Yeah.
earlier, and then I got us off on the whole name thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
But we do have 2 children, and I was thinking about them because they do speak Indonesian as well. Our daughter was 2 when we moved to Indonesia, and then our son was born in Indonesia while we were there living and
Yes.
teaching. So, yeah, so Seth, our son, he's 17. He's graduating high school this year, and our daughter Sarah is in Tennessee right now, and she got married to Colin Henley last summer.
Yeah.
And so they are doing good. They're graduating from Freed-Hardeman University this May.
That's right. Seth is our editor right now for this channel, so all of the cool edits that you see in our videos and stuff, that is Seth. That's
Yeah.
his job.
He does a great job.
So we did mission work in Indonesia, preached in a few different places here around the United States, and now we're working in Sandpoint, Idaho,
Yep.
and helping out the congregation here and building our home and our homestead off grid, all of that kind of stuff. And now we've started this channel to try to utilize our skills and our talents.
And do what we're most passionate about.
Yeah, for the Lord, you know. And so, like Julie said, we started really going on YouTube in 2013. That's when we moved to Indonesia.
The first
Right?
time.
The first time? No, we moved the first time in 2005.
5.
Yeah, 2005. And then, but then we really started on YouTube in 2013.
Yep.
Yeah, are you sure? 2010. I can't remember now. I'm going to check. But you tell them what we were doing on YouTube there in the beginning.
Well, in the beginning, we were showing just life in Indonesia, really, what it was like to live there and travel, what was going on. And most of it was, our goal was to share with our family and our supporters back home what life was like in Indonesia. But as it turned out, it turned into a great opportunity to actually invite Indonesians to come and study with us because they enjoyed seeing our family enjoying their country. And so it ended up turning into an opportunity that we hadn't expected, and a huge blessing. The focus of it was, like I said, just like showing.
We're Martin and Julie,
Whoa.
and we're searching for life.
Oh, it's loud.
Just sharing our life, but at the same time, we were able to invite people to come to worship with us. We were able to invite people to study the Bible with us, to study English with us, and we were able to meet a lot of people and gain a lot of friends that way as well.
Yeah,
So it
for
was neat.
sure. So yeah, 2013, you're right.
Okay, 2013.
July 11th, 2013.
And then we also started, we didn't mention this, but we had started an Indonesian channel as well, which we're not active on right now, but that one was solely spoken in Indonesian, the language of Indonesia. And so that was just a different channel, but it was also a great opportunity.
Yeah. So we grew the Indonesian channel, which is called Pak Martin, and it grew up to about 200,000 subscribers. Our Martin Johnson Off-Grid channel, we've got about 460,000 subscribers on that channel. And then Sarah, right, we kind of, when she was in Indonesia still,
Yeah, she was
coached
little.
her on how to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And her channel is almost up to 1 million subscribers now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So
That's awesome.
she's doing really well.
And her channel is all in Indonesian.
Right,
So
yeah.
if you go check her out, you'll probably need subtitles.
Yes. So her channel is called Sarah Johnson. She's
Yeah.
at 905,000 subscribers.
Wow. I
Yep.
didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So she's doing really good.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's kind of our history on YouTube and what we've been doing there
Yep.
and history of ministry.
So
And so what
you
else?
mentioned preaching in the States, and we were in Moab, Utah for just, I think, 2 years.
About 2 years.
And
yeah.
before we went to Indonesia, the second time we moved there, and that was a great opportunity. We loved living there, and we loved being with the church there. That was really fun. And then because of mission work, we've been able to travel around the States a lot, raising support and then also reporting. So I don't even know where to start with how many states we've been in and all the congregations.
Yeah. it's a
But that's
lot.
kind of one of the neat things about ministry is you really get to know people
Lots of people all over.
all over.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We haven't really been on the East Coast. None of our supporters and supporting congregations have been on the East Coast.
Right.
So we've missed out on that part. But yeah, Alabama,
Yeah.
Tennessee,
Man, we could-
Kansas,
I could do it in my head, I
Oklahoma,
think.
all the places we've had
Yep.
supporters.
So California, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, Tennessee. Am I missing any?
Have we been to Kentucky? I mean, we've been to Kentucky, but not
Yeah,
for
but
preaching,
not
I don't
for
think.
preaching.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That might be it. That might be
Yeah.
all the states.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually paying attention, so.
That's all right. So we've got that. We talked about our kind of our history and our history on YouTube.
And how we came about here? Why are we
Ooh.
in Sandpoint, Idaho?
Why are we in Sandpoint, Idaho? That's a good question.
That's where we're at, by the way.
Yes. While we were doing mission work in Indonesia, and the second time we were there 2 different times. The first time we were there for over 4 years, and the second time we were there for right around 5 years. So we say almost 10 years we were doing mission work there. We were looking for support, and the congregation here in Sandpoint, which is the Sandpoint Church of Christ, they agreed to help support the work in Indonesia. And so we started doing, they started supporting us. And then every time when we come back to the States to report on the work, we would come here to Sandpoint. And they invited us to come up here and help out with the congregation when we came back from Indonesia. So that's what we're doing here.
Yep.
We came back from Indonesia, and then I taught at Freed Hardeman University as the missionary in residence there. And then after that year of teaching at the university, we moved up here to Sandpoint and lived in tents and started clearing the land and started to build our home and work with the church and all of that. And so we're here because of the church.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the main reason. There's a lot of other reasons why Idaho is awesome and why Sandpoint and North Idaho is especially awesome, but we'll save that for a later date.
Yeah, and those videos are all on our Off-Grid channel
Yeah.
as well, if you're not familiar with that, so, and you like that kind of story.
That's right. So what are we trying to do here then on the Down to Earth Christian, right? That's kind of the question I think that we want to talk about. And so there's we've noticed a problem, right? A problem online, and that well, I guess before we get to the problem, it's interesting that when you look throughout history, right, God has used media to convey his message, right? So you go all the way back to, say, Moses on the mountain and stone tablets, right? That God communicated his word through that media of the time, which was stone tablets, right? Later clay tablets, and you're going to get to papyrus and vellum, and all the way up to the printing press, right? Like the first like big non-manual, reproducible kind of media was the printing press, of course. And man, then media just really exploded. But you know that all throughout that time, it's not just good stuff that was being produced in that form of media, right? There was non-good stuff being carved in stone. There was non-good stuff being put on clay tablets and on papyri and on vellum. And so Satan is using those types of media as well. And so Satan uses the printing press as well, right?
Yeah.
And so the Bible was, if I'm not mistaken, was the first book ever printed on the printing press. I don't know what the second one was, but there's been a lot of books that are ungodly printed on the printing press.
For sure.
And so, and like right now, it seems like there is this kind of overarching negative sentiment towards social media in Christian circles.
Sure.
Would you
yeah.
say?
Yeah.
You don't
man.
have to agree with me.
I don't know. I think that some people do have a negative outlook on it because it is so overwhelming. There's so many things available, especially if we're talking about our children.
Yeah.
I know that for me personally, that I've been wanting them to be online because things can be thrown at our kids and us without us even inviting them, through ads
Yeah.
and things like that. And so I think that me personally, have had a hard time with adjusting to that
Yeah.
and learning a balance and learning how to teach my children how to use it responsibly. So yeah, definitely.
Right. And so, because of that, right, we want to get into this sphere and put more of a positive influence in there. But let's back up really quick because I kind of skipped over a lot there. We went from the printing press, right? And then this is my opinion here, that the next big innovation was the movable type printing press, right? Like before it was like one thing and you printed it and then you had to like carve it out of wood, right? But then you had that movable type and you could change it all and you could print it. You made a mistake, you could change some letters around and print it again. And then, but then we kind of jumped forward to radio, right? And radio was a way that you could reach the masses, right? Like they're sitting in their house just listening to whatever, howdy doody, right? But you could preach on the radio, in other words. And so people started doing that. And then we had TV, right? And you could preach on TV. And you could broadcast your church's worship service on TV. But the problem with all of those is they're really expensive, right? Yeah. I mean, to purchase airtime is really expensive. Like there's a fairly popular TV show called In Search of the Lord's Way, and all of this data like is available if you just go look it up. But their expenses, right, for 1 year, I think it's this last year, was $3 million to get their broadcast on multiple TV stations, right? Like I forget how many, 45 different TV. I forget how many. But anyway, it's a lot of TV stations. It's a lot of people that get to watch that, for sure, like probably millions of people. But it's $3 million for that airtime. So expensive, right? Radio time is also expensive. Own your own radio station. I mean, could you even imagine how much that would cost? Or to own your own TV network, super expensive.
Can't imagine.
And so, but with social media, and especially YouTube, we have an opportunity that is low cost to produce high quality content and reach the masses.
And it's free content for
the viewer. Right.
It's not a subscription that you have to pay monthly or anything.
Right.
So it's something available to, I mean, almost probably the whole world at this point.
Yeah, well, okay, that's a good question, right? So here's some stats, guys, for you. Where'd they go? So YouTube, right? Right now, YouTube has, where did it go? YouTube has 2.7 billion.
Wow.
2.7 billion monthly logged in users, right? That means every month, 2.7 billion individuals around the globe are watching videos on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that is a huge audience of potential viewers, right? You couldn't say that about, say, Fox Network, right? Or Fox News. There's not 2.7 billion people that have access to Fox News, I wouldn't think. Or CNN or any other TV network. In fact, how about you tell them a little something while I look for this stat?
We'll just say welcome to the people that have just hopped in.
Oh, yeah.
We've got more people watching right now than when we started.
That's true.
So we just want to say welcome to the Down to Earth Christian. This is our first live stream. And we kind of wanted to do this today because I am Julie.
She is Julie.
And you don't usually see me if you just watch our channel. So Marty thought I should hop in and say hi, introduce myself, and tell you that we launched a Facebook page for anyone who would like to join it.
Yes, I forget which one's Facebook here.
Oh, he made some QR codes, but it's just the Down to Earth Christian, and we'd love for you guys to hop on there and like that page. We'll be posting different resources and tools that we think would be helpful for you, as well as some of the videos we'll be putting on there. And different polls and things like that. So, yeah, is that the QR code?
This is the QR code. If you're on a TV, whoop, that's too close. If you're on a TV, this is the QR code. You can scan it with your phone, and it will take you over to our brand new Facebook page, which kind of goes into the future of what we're hoping for the channel here. But we were talking about YouTube and the reach, right? That YouTube has, or the potential reach that we have on here. And so here's some, the Nelson, remember? Like, if you're older, you probably remember the Nelson ratings, like what TV shows are most popular on TV and stuff. And there was this company called the Nelson something ratings, right? Well, anyway, they continue to do research like that, but they don't only include like broadcast TV. So here, according to Nelson data, YouTube accounts for more TV viewing than any other single network or streaming service. In February 2023, YouTube became the #1 TV network and platform in Nelson's monthly viewing ranking.
Wow.
So YouTube is #1 out of all networks. And then listen to this one right here. YouTube reaches more 18 to 49-year-olds in an average week than all cable TV networks combined. Right? So you take all the cable TV networks, and there's a lot of them, combine them all together, count up how many people watch that. YouTube reaches more people than all of those combined at a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
Right? To get your product, your video on there. Could you imagine, like, how much would it cost to get, say, a video on, like, to pay for somebody to host your video on Fox News?
Yeah.
Be crazy, right? You wouldn't even be able to afford it. It'd be way too expensive. And so YouTube has that great reach. And so that's why we're doing this, is because we've seen that there is a lot of negative content that is on YouTube, and a lot of negative content meaning content that is not really godly, right? Or false teaching. You know, you have here's a couple examples right here, and take a couple of famous, right, like pastors that are on YouTube, like Joel Osteen, right? Joel Osteen has 3.4 million YouTube subscribers, and he gets over 6 million views on his videos a month. And if you know anything about what Joel Osteen teaches, you probably classify him as a false teacher. And so another one is Joyce Meyer, right? Joyce Meyer has 1.2 million subscribers on her YouTube channel and gets 4 million views on her videos a month. Again, teaching not the truth, right? And so those are like only two examples, right? There's like tons and tons. You look through, most of the channels that you're going to see on YouTube are not teaching the truth, even though they claim to be teaching the truth. When you open up your Bible and you actually read what the Bible says and then you listen to what they say, it's not the same, right? It's not the same. And so because of that problem, we thought, man, we need to have more Christians, more biblical Christians, more New Testament Christians on YouTube preaching and teaching the truth, because people are searching for answers, right? And so that's why, like, we choose the topics that we've chosen so far. There is a method to my madness, right? Some of the questions are, why are you talking about these topics, right? Like the topics we've been talking about, like what about the Sabbath and pork and women's roles in the church and things like that. Because one of the key things with YouTube is like the research that goes into the topic of the video, right? And so how do we go about doing that, right? Like, how do we choose these video topics? Do you want to share anything on that?
Well, you do a lot of research. Like, it's I know from the viewer side, sometimes it just seems like Marty sets up a camera and he just throws the stuff out there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of research behind it that we have been on YouTube for a long time.
Yeah.
We've been producing, I don't know how many videos.
Oh, well over 1,000 videos.
Yeah, and there's research that goes into what people are searching, what keywords, and so there's like this whole algorithm that is behind the YouTube world. And so if we're trying to reach people, we need to understand what people are wanting to know. And so,
Yeah.
you can share some of the SEO and things like that you do.
Yeah, so we have some ideas, right? And so we'll go into YouTube and we use some other software and tools that helps us to understand what people are actually looking for, how often they're looking for it, what the competition is out there for that particular topic, and all of that. And so we go through and we find those keyword phrases that outline a topic, right? So such as, should Christians eat pork? And And when we do that research, we find that that is a very popular topic that people are actually searching for on YouTube. And then that is a way for us to get in front of a group of people that are at least, biblically minded, wanting to know what the Bible says about particular things. And so we're using those resources and those skills and talents that we've developed over the last 10 years for a Bible-based channel. And it's hours of research that goes into even choosing the topic that the video is going to be about, let alone the content of the video, right? So it's interesting that, like you said, sometimes it looks like you just throw up a camera and record yourself. A lot of people do that, right? Lots of people do that, and there's a lot of unsuccessful YouTube channels.
Sure.
I mean, like the vast majority of YouTube channels are not going to be successful. That's just the nature of the game. It's kind of like, the vast majority of youth basketball players are not going to be in the NBA, right? Because why? I mean, maybe they don't have the talent, or they don't have the dedication to practice as much as you need to practice to be there. They don't have a good coach or whatever it happens to be. And so similarly with YouTube, it's going to be like that. Most channels aren't going to be successful, but if you're willing to do the research and willing to do the work that's required to be successful and to reach a larger and larger and larger group of people, then you have a better chance of being successful.
And that's also another reason why we ask for your video suggestions.
Yeah.
I think every video,
Yeah, I think so.
at least thus far, Marty's asked for your questions and suggestions and to submit them through a form. And that helps us know what kind of things that you're looking for, whether it's something that you personally want to know or something that, maybe a discussion you're having with a friend or family member, something that you're interested in hearing.
Yeah, and it's interesting that the questions that you are submitting also reflect in the research on what everybody's asking, right? Like your questions are very similar to what everybody's asking. Those are the things that people want to know about.
Yeah, and so we're hoping that these videos will be helpful for you, but also a resource for you to share with your family and friends that that maybe coming from someone else, maybe coming from Marty, would mean something different to that person. Just coming, sometimes it's a relational thing.
Yeah.
Or, if Marty says the same thing that you've been saying to someone, it,
Reinforces it.
What you've been telling them. So,
Right.
and then they just read it right in their Bible, and they're like, oh, okay, black and white.
That's right. That's right. There's a really good principle that I want you to always remember, and that is the principle that we see in the Bereans, right? In Acts chapter 17, we see that Paul was up in Thessalonica, and he had to leave there. He went down to Berea, and when Luke records what took place in Berea, he says that the Bereans, right, that they were more noble-minded than those up in Thessalonica, and he's talking about the Jews in the synagogue there. And so Paul goes into the synagogue. He begins preaching because that's where people gather who would be waiting for the Messiah. And he says that they're more noble-minded. But the question is why, right? Why are they more noble-minded? Well, the text tells us, and it's because they listened eagerly to what Paul had to say, and then they searched the scriptures daily to find out if those things were so. And that's what I want you to do. That's what I want me to do, and Julie to do, and everybody to do, is that just because somebody says something, whether it's your parents or your grandparents or your pastor or your priest or your reverend or your minister or whoever it is, whether it's me, especially if... Well, we lost you there for a second, I think. Hopefully it was not while I was saying something important.
If you're there, if you're still here, let us know.
Yeah. So also, let us know in the chat there where you're from.
You're back.
Yes. All
Okay,
right. Thank
thanks,
you,
Luke.
Luke. Yeah, let us know in the chat where you're from, where you're watching from.
Oh, yeah.
And we really want to see where everybody's from because it's so cool to see where you guys are from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about? Oh, we wanted to talk about this. So, guys, like we're talking about the time that it takes, right? The research that goes into it takes hours. Then the writing of the script, outlining the actual lesson of the video, that takes hours as well. And then shooting the video, of course, right? That takes usually hours as well. Like not nearly as long as writing it and doing all the research, but it takes a couple hours, right, to film a 10 to 20 minute video. And
The editing.
yeah, and then you've got the editing, right? So it'll go from, let's kind of take them through the process.
Okay.
All right, so the process is I'll do the research on what topic we're going to discuss. So we'll do all of that research, the SEO, which is search engine optimization research, and topic and all of that kind of stuff.
He's geeking out on you.
Yeah, I'm geeking out on you here. But so we'll do all that research. Okay, so now we've got our topic. All right, now we need to do the study of the topic to make sure that what we're teaching is the truth on that topic, right? So now you've got the study of the topic and the outlining of the lesson. So that takes hours. Like,
And you have to pick a shirt.
yeah, and I have to pick a shirt. That's right, Steve.
That's not hard. It's just the same one.
I know. I thought I would switch it up on you today, guys, and wear a green one.
I almost said something about that because I thought, oh, they're not going to recognize you in a green shirt.
Right. So we do the study, right? Do the study on the topic. That takes hours as well. And then we set up the lights, set up the camera, set up all of that kind of stuff, and get all ready and put my blue shirt on, clean up the background a little bit so it doesn't look so messy, and then film it, right? That takes a couple hours. Then from there, I will take the video and I'll put it into the editing software and I will do the rough edit of it, which means I go through and I'll take out all of the mess ups, right? So all of the bloopers and all that kind of stuff, I cut all of that out and just get it all so that what I'm saying is fairly coherent. Mm-hmm. And then it gets passed off to Seth. Mm-hmm. What does Seth do?
Seth's our main editor. Like Marty said, he does some of the edits at the beginning, but Seth will take it and he will spend, I don't know, it depends on how much footage Marty gives him.
It's usually, I'd say on average is about 5 hours probably.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, for all of our videos. And he'll make, he'll add we call it the da-ding at the beginning of our video.
Da-ding.
The da-ding. And that it pops up and says seek truth, and it has a blue background, so he'll add that. He'll add different images. He has to research and find those images first to put in. We call that B-roll. So it's stuff that isn't Marty on the screen. It's additional content. It could be a video. It could be just a still frame image. He'll add all of the Bible scriptures that Marty is saying. He'll go add that, and that's an overlay on the video. Transitions between scenes, between cuts, different things like that.
Yeah, all the zoom in, zoom out.
Yeah, things that make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah,
to watch.
For sure.
Cleaner.
Yeah. So he'll do all of that editing, and then he will give it back to us. We'll watch the video, and then if it's good, it's good. But usually there's some additional additional edits that we want him to do. So then we'll watch the video. We'll make any suggestions that we would like to see changed, and it goes back to the editing room, and he goes through and he makes those different changes. Then we watch the video again. Usually at the second time it's fine, and then it gets exported, which means it goes from the video software to a file that can then be uploaded to YouTube. So then it's uploaded to YouTube, and that takes, depending on the internet connection, right? That could take, I don't know, 20 minutes to a couple hours. And so it gets uploaded. And then from there, we have to do it's called the metadata for the video, which is the title needs to be put in, the description needs to be put in, the keyword phrases need to be put in, and the thumbnail.
So it's basically on the creator's side of YouTube.
You don't see this part.
Yeah, what needs to happen so that the
People
viewer
can find the video.
Yeah, so that the viewer can search for it and find what they're looking for.
Right.
So it's a lot of the technical stuff. But if it doesn't happen, then we're producing content that nobody's going to see.
Right. Yes, because you could have the best content in the world with a terrible title and a terrible thumbnail, and chances are nobody's going to see it. I mean, there's some exceptions to the rule, but generally speaking, best practices, you've got to have all of your ducks in a row for people to be able to actually find that video.
And it is a fluid business or platform as well. So
Things
when
change.
so when we started YouTube, there was, thumbnails look differently. Do you remember that? There was a different, lots of them were like outlined, the images were outlined. And anyways, there was just a lot of different things. And so that just takes the research, that just takes diligence and keeping up with the times, basically.
Yeah. Continued learning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then now we've got it up there, and we schedule it to go out on Monday morning. It goes out on Monday morning, and people start watching it. Right.
Yep.
That's the beginning
Yeah.
of the process.
Right.
So now we've got our video out there, and so the thumbnail, I forgot there's thumbnail creation that
There's
goes
a
into
lot.
that, right?
Yeah.
And so I need to make the thumbnail, I need to put the text on the thumbnail and get that on the video. Right now it's not overly difficult because I just keep using the same picture over and over again, but that's not really the best practice, and so we need to fix that, but the problem is time.
Right. Yeah.
Right? The problem's time right now. So that will improve in the future. We've got it up on YouTube. What's the next step?
Well, usually you'll take it and you'll do an email for the people that are subscribed to our email channel or email list.
Yep.
And you can get on that by how? The
There's
QR code.
Yeah, there's a link down in the description below
Yeah.
where you can, if you download our reading schedule, you will get onto our email list. Right now, I think that might be the only way to get on there.
Okay.
So if you would like to have a chronological reading schedule that we have for you, it'll take you all the way through the Bible chronologically, meaning in the order that the events happened, not in the order that the books are arranged in the Bible. Then there's a link in the description below. You can download that, and that will put you on our email list where you will get updates and stuff like that from us. So if
Which we want to do more and more in the
Yeah.
future. Not just videos, but more to share
Right.
through email. Yeah.
For
So,
sure.
yeah, we just need time and energy
Right.
to
So
get these
that
things going.
so that email then gets sent out to to people who are on our email list.
Yep.
And then it also needs to, what else needs to happen with the video?
Yeah,
at that
so
point?
we also share it on Facebook. I share it on my personal page or personal profile. But now that we have our official, the Down to Earth Christian
It's this one. I forget which one
Facebook
it is.
page, I'm going to be sharing it on there.
Yeah.
And so we'd love for you guys to hop over there and like that page. And then also, we have a really good group so far of individuals who like this content and want to share it themselves. And so oftentimes after I've shared it, they also are sharing it on Facebook. And that is super, super helpful. So if you'd like to join that group of people who are helping us spread the message, we would love that. So just take that video and share it on all of your social media platforms. That's awesome. So the more people that help get it out, the more it's going to grow and spread.
Right, and so that was the QR code to Facebook if you didn't scan it. If you're on a TV, then you can take out your smartphone and scan the QR code right here. But one of the things that is starting like now, which definitely takes more time, but it's something that I think is really important, is natively uploading the video to Facebook rather than just sharing the link to our YouTube channel.
Right.
And so the videos will be native on Facebook, so you can just watch them right away. It won't take you to YouTube.
Yeah. So the only one we have on there right now is our welcome video, which is on our Facebook page. So you don't have to go to YouTube because sometimes some people prefer Facebook over YouTube.
Yeah.
It's natural, I think. For me personally, I'm more of a Facebook user than a YouTube user. So I tend to stay on Facebook more. And so right now we have our welcome video, and we're hoping to upload the rest of the content natively, like Marty said, on Facebook as we go.
Right.
It'd be good.
But so the same, like, we don't have to do all of the research and all of that, but we'll have to record a separate ending to the video, and it will have to be exported twice then, and uploaded twice, and all of that. So it's going to add a lot more hours to our work by putting it on Facebook as well, and trying to really grow a Facebook channel.
Right. But we're trying to get where people are.
Right.
And that's the whole point of it. So this is what, oh wow, we have 22 likes, 30 followers already. Well, that's awesome.
Cool.
So this is, I don't know if you can see that super well.
I'm gonna hold
pretty
it up
good.
there.
Yeah. That's what it looks like if you're going to go to Facebook. And so, yeah, you'll recognize Marty in his blue shirt.
That's right. So, yeah, it's but that's just the beginning, right? That's just the beginning. We're only in the beginning stage of our goal for what we want to try to do with this ministry.
So something that we've mentioned right now, we have basically 3 team members who are working this together, and that's Marty and me, and then our son Seth.
Right.
And Seth is going to be going to school. He's graduating high school, going to be starting university in this coming fall. Yep. So we're losing him, but we're gaining 2 new partners, 2 new teammates coming June, basically. Yeah. And that's Sarah and Colin. And they're going to be joining this ministry, and we are super, super excited to have them. They both have
their skills and energy.
They do. They both have a lot of skills that we're looking forward to them using to spread the gospel.
Yeah.
And
because like we said, this is just the beginning, right? And we're at full capacity of what we can do personally with the amount of hours that we have, right? And so we can't personally accomplish everything that we'd like to accomplish because of time and money.
Well, we work full time.
Yeah, right.
We work.
Yeah.
We have a full time business with our off-grid channel, and then we also work
with
a lot
the church.
with the church. So Marty is teaching almost every Sunday morning, and preaching not every Sunday, but filling in. And so it takes a lot, but it's also what we are really passionate about.
Yeah, that's like our life.
Yeah, it's not like a hardship. It's something that we want to do, whether we get any, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just who we are. It's what we want to do.
Right. And so it's so growing it, right, tomorrow. So we've already seen, right, that YouTube has 2.7 billion monthly users. Right? So Facebook actually has more users. Not as much video is watched on Facebook, but it has more users at over 3 billion users every month, right? Logged in users. These are 3 billion individuals that you have access to on Facebook if you know how to use Facebook, right? Yeah. And so 2.7 billion on YouTube. TikTok has 1.7 billion users. That's 1.7 billion people, souls that we have access to if we utilize it. Instagram, 1.4 billion people on Instagram, and Twitter, 353 million. So they're not up to the billions yet. But Twitter's a very unique platform, and they're trying to get more into video. So Twitter will be another one. So the goal is to have a native presence on every single one of those social media platforms, right? Meaning we're not just sharing links to YouTube, meaning Facebook is its own entity. The Down to Earth Christian on Facebook has its own native videos. YouTube has its own native videos. TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, all native specifically for that platform and the people that use that platform. Because like Jules was saying, there's some cross. Like you might be a Facebook user, but you also watch YouTube videos sometimes. But some people are like, their primary right? They use Instagram and they don't care about anything else. They are Instagram people. They're like Instagram fanboys or fangirls,
Yep.
right? They don't care about Twitter. They don't care about Facebook. They don't care about YouTube. All as they want is Instagram. And so we need to be there also. The same thing for YouTube and all of that, right? Like I am barely a Facebook user. Like about this much is Facebook, this much is YouTube, right? So
That's for sure.
yeah.
Or it's just the opposite for me.
Yeah, just the opposite. And so to reach me, you need to be on YouTube. To reach Jules, you're going to need to be on Facebook.
Yep.
So those are the kind of the things, right? And a lot of young people, TikTok is the place, man. They don't care about
Or
the,
Instagram.
mom book,
Yeah.
right? They want
Instagram.
TikTok, Instagram. And so if you want to reach those people, you got to be on their platform.
Right.
But what does that take, Jules?
It takes more people.
More people, more
More
time,
time.
more money.
Yeah.
Right? So, but that's the goal. We've started the YouTube we've got the YouTube channel going. It's going really well. We've reached well over 100,000 people, on the channel so far, and it's only been, several weeks that we've been running it. And we've started the Facebook thing because we just couldn't wait. We just couldn't wait. We just got to do it, even though we don't really have the time for it, but we just have to do it,
I think we started it so.
Day before yesterday?
It was. We went to California. We made a really fast trip to California. My grandma had passed away in November, and we went to California to be there for her memorial service. And on the way back is when we started it. So that was what day?
Friday.
Yeah. So
We started it
so
Friday.
Friday, yeah. But I'm really excited about it because
Yeah.
I love using Facebook. I love writing, scripture posts and sharing content on there. So it's fun for me.
That's right. It's good. So because of that, guys, we started a Patreon page to help with being able to support Sarah and Colin when they get here, and then being able to support us as well so that we can transition more to dedicating more time to this channel and less to the other things that we have to do to make money, right?
This is
And
it,
so
if you wanna
this
share
is
it,
it. Okay,
yeah.
so this is what the Patreon page kind of looks like when you go there. But here is the QR code if you are on your TV and you want to check it out. Here is the QR code, and you can scan that with your smartphone. But on Patreon, then, that is a way for you to be able to support this ministry on an ongoing monthly basis. There's a whole range of amounts, right? If you can't afford very much, well, there's a small amount, and then if you're like, man, I'm rolling in money. Well, there's a big amount here that you can support as well if you want. But
You need to let everybody else know your secret.
yeah, and so, but with that though, you get something out of it. You get more behind the scenes stuff, right? So we're sharing behind the scene things, more about life and stuff like that. Like Tux here, maybe he'll be in there occasionally, just to let you know more about what's going on in our life, behind the scenes stuff. Plus, updates on how we're doing, right? Like how many people are we reaching on Facebook? How many people are we reaching on YouTube? Are we being effective in what we're trying to do? And so there'll be reports that come out on that about the statistics of what it is that you're helping to support and how that's actually going. Is it growing or declining, or what's going on with that?
And having, like Marty said from the beginning, so we've been in ministry pretty much since the beginning of our marriage.
Yeah.
And so we understand that people have different gifts, different talents that God has given us. And Marty and I are in a position right now, Marty has the knowledge and the experience to be able to teach. That's a gift that God has given him. But we also know that it takes people to send.
Yeah.
To send us to Indonesia for the 10 years we were there. It took a lot of people, and we're partners in this ministry together. And I think that that's really important to emphasize, that we're all in different places in our lives. And Paul said it. he said that we have to, there's people who need to hear and they can't go unless people send them.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
Romans.
that's what we're asking, is for you to partner with us in this ministry, because it's so important and
Yeah.
appreciated as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is a new media frontier. We're a little bit late getting to the game. I mean, people have been out there. I mean, as far as like Bible channels, right? I mean, false teachers have been out there for a decade, spreading their teaching, and it's time that we as New Testament Christians, get the word out and try and correct some of the error that's been spread, and do it in a loving and a kind and a intelligent way, right? So now's the time. But anyway, so that's kind of a little bit about us. If you're just joining the live stream, rewind it, go back to the beginning. You kind of get our story, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and where we are right now. So if you are wanting to, you've got your phone out, but you missed it earlier, here's one of the QR codes. This is the one to Facebook, I do believe. This is the new Facebook channel or Facebook page.
Yeah.
QR code. And then this one right here, this should be the QR code to our Patreon page, where you can become a monthly supporter and partner with us here on the Down to Earth Christian. It's beautiful, guys. Very unscripted today. We're just like, we're going to do this because, well, one reason is we really wanted you to see who Julie is, who's behind the scenes a lot here working, and also kind of give you a little bit of background of who we are if you're new to us, right? Because we're not new to YouTube, but you may be new to us here on this channel. And the other thing was to invite you to be a partner with us in helping to grow not only this YouTube channel, but this whole ministry on all major social media platforms. And so come June, July, August is when a lot of that is going to be starting to take place. We need to build a good foundation here on YouTube and on Facebook, and then we can launch into those other ones as soon as we have more workers who can put their fingers to the keyboard,
Exactly.
right, and get some good work done.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
thanks, guys, for hanging out with us today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really fun.
Maybe they want to see Tux. They can barely see him there.
Well, he kind of was standing up earlier.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Tux, look perky. He's like, what are you doing?
Tux is our Boston Terrier. He is named Tux because it's short for tuxedo. So T-U-X.
His black and white tuxedo.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh, Tux? Yeah, you're a good boy. Yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. We will talk to you later. We hope you have a really great day. On our other channel, we say keep smiling.
What do we say on this channel?
I don't know. We don't really end it on this channel.
You say-
I say check out this video right over here, because that is probably the video that you're going to want to watch next. Something like that.
Don't you say be blessed?
No?
You
Not at the
don't?
end. I don't.
Oh, well, I thought you did.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.